3, and our topic is a comparative study of education system in the UK, the USA, and Vietnam. Here are our group members. We have three main parts. The first one is introduction. The second is body, divided into four uh, main parts, and the last is conclusion. First, I will talk about introduction. Education is important because it shapes how people think and behave. It also has passed cultural value from one generation to the next. The UK, the US, and Vietnam all see education as important for future success. However, they have different approach. The UK focuses on exam and academic structure. Vietnam values discipline and respect for teacher, and the US emphasizes flexibility and individual choice. And by comparing this system, we can better understand how education reflects cultural values and how different society define success. And next, I will invite the next person.
Hello, teacher and everyone. My name is Fung Hang, and now I'd like to talk about the education system in the United Kingdom. In the UK, compulsory education starts at the age of 5 and lasts until 16. Before primary school, many children attend nursery or reception classes where they learn basic social skills, reading, writing, and simple math through play. Primary education usually lasts from 5 to 11 years old. During this stage, students study core subjects such as English, mathematics, and science, along with subjects like history and art. Secondary education begins at 11 and ends at 16. At the end of this stage, students take GCSE exams, which are very important for their future study choices. After 16, students can choose to continue their education. Many of them study A levels to prepare for university, while others choose vocational courses or apprenticeships. Higher education in the UK mainly includes universities, and most undergraduate programs last 3 years. Overall, the UK education system focuses strongly on academic achievement, exams, and independent learning. This is the end of my part. Next, I would like to invite Tu Hung to continue our presentation.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Phan Hang, and this slide I will present an overview of the education system in Vietnam, focusing on its structure as well as learning practice and challenges. First, regarding to the education structure, Vietnam has a highly centralized education system nationwide. Public schools are managed by the Ministry of Education and Training, which play a key role in setting educational policy and regulation. Students in Vietnam study at three main levels: primary, lower secondary, and upper secondary education. This structure is similar to that of many other countries. However, the centralized management strongly influences teacher methods and assessment practice at all level. In terms of learning practice and problem, in, In terms of learning practice and problem, education in Vietnam is largely exam oriented. Students face strong pressure from national examinations, which are often considered decisive for their academic progression and future opportunity. As a result, teaching often emphasizes rote learning rather than critical thinking or problem-solving skill. Students are expected to memorize information and follow instructions carefully, and classroom activities are usually teacher-centered. In addition, students are generally expected to discipline and to follow the rules strictly, reflecting broader cultural values such as respect for authority and social order. Overall, this is recent years, Vietnam has introduced several educational reforms, including the promotions of English learning and competency-based educations. Overall, this national context provides important background of understanding student learning habits and challenges for students in Vietnam. And this is the end of our presentation. I will the next is presented by Hoài.
Hello, teacher and everyone. My name is Leti Horai, and today I will talk about the education system in the United States. So first, I will talk about the education structure. The education system in the United States is flexible and diverse. Public schools are mainly managed by state and local government, not by one central authority. Because of this, schools in different areas can be very different in subjects, school and funding. Students study intermediate level, elementary schools, middle school, and high school, and I clever prepare them for the next stage. The next I will talk about the learning and problem. In high schools, students study core subjects such as English, math, science, and history, and they can also choose elective subjects they like. And system encourage students to think independently, ask questions, and speak in class. School also value extracurricular activities such as sports, club, and volunteering because they help students develop social skills. However, education is not equal for everyone, as schools in rich areas often have better for have, have better facility and learning resources than schools in poor areas and snack bad. I invite you to begin.
And after looking at the education system in the UK, Vietnam, and the US, now I will compare them from a cross-cultural perspective. And this comparison helps us understand not only how students learn, but also what each society values through education. First, there is a clear similarity among the three countries. In the UK, Vietnam, and the US, education is considered important for student future. People believe that education helps young people gain knowledge, skill, and better job opportunities. This shows that education plays a key role in personal development and social progress. However, the most obvious difference is that the way students learn. In the UK, students follow a structured system and face important exams such as GCSE and A levels. In Vietnam, education is centralized and students focus strongly on memorization and exam results. In contrast, the US education system is more flexible. Students study many subjects, can choose electives, and join school activities. And these differences come mainly from history and culture. Vietnam's system is influenced by Confucian values and the need for national unity after wars. The UK system developed from a long educational tradition that values structure and responsibility. The US system reflects a culture that values freedom and individual choice. Education also reflects cultural values. Vietnam emphasized respect for teacher and collective responsibility. The UK highlights academic achievement and independence, and the US encourages self expression and personal interest. And next, I will talk about conclusion. Education is strongly influenced by culture and history. Although the UK, Vietnam, and the US all value education as a way to success, their systems are very different. The UK focuses on exam, Vietnam values discipline, and the US encourages flexibility and personal development. And these differences show that there is no perfect education system. Understanding different systems helps students become more open-minded in a globalized world. And that's all about our presentation. Thank you for listening.